podcast.
Hello and welcome to PMC English. This is Ayushi Farasi and welcome back to our segment of podcast. In this episode of podcast, we have a very interesting topic for all of you, which is trust and the things related to trust issues. So today we will be clarifying all these questions with Mr. Vyas. So let's welcome him in this episode of podcast.
Hello, Aishi.
So starting with the main issue that one faces in the life when it comes to the relationship with colleagues, friends or their partners is that trust, the
Yes.
trust factor.
Yes.
Because that is the building of any relationship.
True.
So when trust breaks down, you are not able to take that kind of pain and it implies to the other relationships as well. So how can we address this?
I think one of the major challenges is in fact trust. It plays role in all relationships.
Right.
And for whatever reasons, trust is directly connected to self-worth. If you can't trust someone, it also means that you can't trust yourself.
Okay.
It might be hard to hear this, but the problem with trust is, if you can't trust someone, it means that you can't trust yourself to trust the right person. Right? So you trusted wrong person, now you don't know how to trust or how not to trust.
Yes.
And if the pain is little, then there is no problem. So you can recover. If the pain is deep, then you trusted the other person blindly.
I usually do that.
Okay? And why do we trust people blindly?
There is certain charm in them that, makes us trust them blindly.
Yes. Okay. Now, whatever charm that you are seeing, just close your eyes and let go of that charm. That charm is
Vibe.
not there.
Yeah.
That vibe is not there. Remove that vibe from the equation and then look at the person. Can you trust them?
Okay. You are actually speaking about the vibe which made me trust them.
Yes.
Okay.
Remove that vibe and then look at the person. Can you trust that person?
Maybe not.
Maybe, maybe not. Or maybe to some extent, may not be to large extent.
Yeah, it's like a 50-50 kind of thing.
Right. Then you are able to see exactly how much you can trust that person.
Not really.
What is holding you back?
The kind of vibe they have created around me or the things that they have spoken to me.
So then, does it give you a measure of how much trustworthy that person is?
After removing the vibe, I am not able to figure that out.
Okay, open your eyes. Good. So basically you accepted that the trust is fake.
Still, it's like on a 50-50 ratio.
50-50 means it can go either way. It's not even if you don't have any of this background, any of that vibe or any of anything,
Yes.
the person is like a new person. It can
Yes.
go anywhere.
Yeah.
As if you don't know that person at all.
Yeah.
Even after all these experiences.
Yes.
If you newly meet a person, this is a condition you should be in.
Yeah, I'm usually in that.
But you are saying that you are in the same position after knowing person for a long time. That's surprising, right?
It is.
Now, check. What is this vibe really about?
In the context.
the vibe that you are feeling, what
Yes.
is it really about? What is its existence or not existence? How is it making you feel?
It affects me in a way.
Yeah, it's affecting you obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, when I said remove that vibe,
Yes.
how did you feel while removing it?
At certain extent, it is okay, but at certain extent, it was not okay.
So that not okay. What is the emotion?
I feel bad.
You feel bad. If
I
the
feel
bad,
dejected, or I feel betrayed that I am putting in so much of effort, or I am trusting a person so blindly, and in return, this is what I'm getting.
okay, so that betrayal that you are holding on to, that's not related to that relationship. That is the reason you are holding on to this vibe.
Okay.
Somewhere deep inside, you know that you'll get betrayed,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And if you don't have this vibe, you can't trust any person,
Maybe.
right? So you're holding on to the vibe instead of reality. See, you can't trust any person because you have to trust.
Yes.
You have to explore that relationship, make a judgment.
Right.
No person can be 100% trustworthy or 100% untrustworthy. It's either we give ourselves permission to trust to a person to a certain extent and test it and be prepared for a failure. And if it passes, check how that goes and keep building it to the extent it is possible. Instead of making it 1-0,
Okay.
go, no go, trust,
Yeah.
don't trust.
Yeah.
Instead, there's little trust, then little more trust, then little more trust
Okay.
based on experience.
Okay.
That's how you build relationship.
But I have this one thing with me is that I generally, when I meet a person and when I start talking to them, that is when I start, having a blind trust on them. And then at a certain extent, when things go wrong, that is where I feel bad that why did I actually trust them at the initial stage?
Yes.
But even after knowing all of these factors, when I meet another person, I face the same thing.
Yes. So the point is, now check, despite experience, instead of allowing yourself to build that relationship naturally, you are forcing a relationship.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Not really.
There is no relationship with that person. But with your bubbly nature, you are enforcing a relationship, which is not there.
Okay.
You have just met a person,
Yeah.
but you are acting like you know them for a long time.
Yeah, actually.
So you are forcing a set of relationship, which is not there.
Maybe because I trust that good vibe, or I trust those words which have been
no.
spoken.
You don't trust them.
Okay.
You want to be in such a relationship,
Okay.
despite the reality.
Okay.
Okay? Somewhere there is desperation. This is how things are supposed to be. Otherwise what will happen? If you can't trust a person, what will happen?
Maybe things won't be the same way.
What is the worst that can happen?
It's again going to affect me in a way.
How?
It's going to cause pain because...
Now say, it's okay to feel this pain. Whatever pain is caused because you are not able to trust that person, can you accept it?
At times, yes, at
No,
times.
try. Say this.
Okay.
I'm okay with this pain.
This time I'm not able to do that because there is a lot of things that have been attached to
Yes.
that.
Good. What are
I
they?
have given a lot of time of mine. I have put that friendship above everything. So It's little difficult for me to actually let go of that pain at this moment of
No,
time.
it's not about letting go of the pain. It's about accepting the pain.
Yeah.
So what's happening when you're trying to accept it? When you're saying it's okay to have this pain?
It's not letting me, because there are a lot of emotions that are running.
So what is the emotion, biggest emotion that's coming up there?
That's what I said, betrayed. I feel like.
Betrayed.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are betrayed, so what?
I have put in a lot of things.
So?
Like, I have put that friendship above everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am feeling that
When
way.
you are putting the friendship above everything,
Yes.
what is making you do that?
Maybe that is a level of trust that I have with that person.
No. Check. Why is it so important to put that relationship above everything?
Because it means a lot to me.
Observe. Don't think. Don't
Okay.
speak.
Okay.
Observe. Why should it be there? What if it is not? What if you didn't put it at the top? What would happen? What is the worst that can happen?
That friendship wouldn't have lasted for so long.
No. Observe. It's not about the friendship. It's about you.
Maybe I would have felt lonely.
Say it's okay to be lonely. How do you feel when you say it's okay to be lonely?
Now I feel a little better.
Now you can let go.
Now it doesn't bother me that way much.
Right? So your trust is enforced trust because you are afraid of being lonely. It's not real trust. It's only a mask. Oh, I trust people so much, I put them. The whole thing behind is I am afraid of being lonely.
Okay.
The moment I am okay with loneliness, suddenly the whole thing collapses. There is nothing to be upset of. You automatically know how much to trust that person. You always known it.
Right.
Right? You always know how much the person will betray and how much you can trust the person. The moment you remove the fear of loneliness, you know how to act.
Okay.
The whole relationship is reset.
Okay.
You are not destroying the relationship,
Okay.
but you are actually engaging the relationship as you are supposed to,
Okay.
which is not painful to you, not the other person.
Okay.
Otherwise, you put the relationship on that and expect that person to be obliged.
But there are certain times when I take my own time to trust a person. Like, I gradually build that trust
But
at certain relationships.
Despite this, the moment this fear takes over, you have lost it.
Okay.
When that happens, you have to again reset yourself,
Okay.
saying that it's okay to be lonely.
Got it.
It's okay to be lonely doesn't mean that you are creating loneliness.
Yeah.
You are letting go of loneliness by saying it's okay to be lonely. That is the beauty of the concept.
Okay.
And it has to be applied at the right place. You just can't use it everywhere.
Okay.
It's only when you know that, you know this pattern now, that I over trust because I am afraid of being lonely. In that context, if you say I'm okay to be lonely, you let go of loneliness, you let go of the false trust and all this, and suddenly things become much easier, much lighter, much better.
Okay.
So we have to identify the right pattern. For that right pattern, what is the root statement, and use it there.
Okay.
This is not a mantra. This is a key that opens certain doors. Don't use this key for every other door. It won't work.
Okay.
For you, this particular door of putting people above, enforcing trust, which is not necessary, not needed, and it is damaging that relationship. It's creating pain for both you and the other person.
Right.
That door has this key that it's okay to be lonely.
Oh, okay. Got it.
When you apply it there, suddenly life becomes much easier.
Okay. But there are times when we are not able to trust people. Like there are certain scenarios where we are not able to trust them.
So each and every scenario has a different fear associated with it.
Okay.
So you have to identify what is the root pain or the fear and its energy, and find the right key and your ability to let go. Sometimes even with the key, the ability to let go doesn't happen easily. It takes a lot of practice of that key.
Okay.
Because a lot of karmic energy is there.
Yes.
It's spread into so many different relationships in so many different patterns.
Right.
So we have to identify all those patterns and find. So it takes an expert to guide you through the whole process. Trust is again building trust.
Right.
Learning to build trust is a lifetime lesson.
Yes.
It takes for some people years, for some people months, for the practical sake of certain situations. In professional situations we can build it in 3 months.
Yes.
It will only work in that particular area. But if they're widespread in the whole life, if you want to completely become a person who trusts oneself and knows how to trust people, it takes a lot of effort, time and clearing of karmic energies.
Right.
Okay. So today I showed you that a key can be created for certain doors, and now those doors won't bother you.
Yeah.
Now after saying it's okay to be lonely, what's happening to the trust? Observe.
Okay. It's like the trust factor is still there because I'm not bothered much now because I figured out what is my key. So it's not bothering me much if I can just trust them or if I can't trust them.
So because it's not bothering you, where is the trust level now?
It's like
what is it based on?
It's based on the experiences
Yes.
that I figured out. So it's on the same level.
Which level?
The same level that
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now open your eyes.
Yeah.
Because this has been removed, you now recognize that what is the level of trust it's supposed to be, and it was always there. You just masked it with the fear.
Okay.
You always knew how much you can trust this person from your experience.
Okay.
But you are not able to use that information or be conscious about it because of this fear. The moment the fear was addressed, suddenly you are saying that this is how it's supposed to be.
Got it. Yes.
So I don't have to teach you to trust. You know how to trust. You know exactly how much the person is trustworthy from your long association.
Yes.
Right? The problem is that fear. The moment we address that fear, you know what to do.
Right.
Trust need not be built. It's a natural process. We know how much we can trust people. It's the fears that create the problem. We have to identify, and there are a lot of doors. We have to open the doors. It's done.
Okay.
So that's how we build the trust. Building trust is like building personality.
Okay.
Each fear suppresses our ability to see things as they are. And then suppresses our personality, creating complexities, pains and struggles and stress and all the burden and difficulties, making us very difficult for us to perform actions.
Right.
Decision making is very difficult. We overthink. Now, as we remove it, thinking becomes easier. Suddenly we are able to do much more. Relationships become very easy.
Yes.
That's how personality building happens.
These things, is it like same for everyone, or every individual have their own kind of fears and it has to be addressed on a different level?
Everyone has their own fears.
Okay.
Though the core principles are there, the fear, the energy, the way they are associated with, the way they are masked, the number of masks. Like for you, the trust, then we had to go back a step, then again we went back a step till you got to loneliness. The loneliness was the key that needs to be addressed. The moment you got that key, the whole thing was addressed. So the number of masks that they are holding on to is different. I had a person who had 10 different masks and you had to drill, dig and then get the key.
Okay.
Once they found the key, they were like, oh, why was I like this?
Got it.
Life has become so easy now. Even simple things are much easier now. I was struggling with all this. Why was I even struggling with this?
Right.
So that shift happened.
Okay.
For some people, that key is so hidden, so in so much pain that you have to address and heal that pain to get them to the key.
Okay.
So for each person, it is different.
Right.
It's like, and each fear is different. The intensity is different. The way it was built is different.
Yes.
For some people, you have to take them into age regression. Some people, you have to take in past life regression. Sometimes it depends. There are so many different types of therapeutic models. Sometimes simply conversation can clear it.
Got it.
So each person is different.
Yes.
So that's why I gave you in one of these conversations the rating of the pain or intensity of the problem.
Right.
If the intensity is below 7, like on a scale of 10, then probably with the help of right guidance in your family or friends, if you have people who are good with these things, they can help you.
Okay.
Or if you attend certain workshops, or self-discovery things, if you get the right match, they get addressed. Okay. But the moment intensity goes 8, 9, 10, then proper therapy is required, sort of. It no more a simple life coaching thing. It turns into a therapeutic thing.
Yeah, got it. So that's how it is.
Yes.
So it's like, we need to take step by step rather than just forcing it up in one go.
Yeah. Even now, the key I have given, it worked now. And that doesn't mean that you have released all the energy.
Yes.
You have to apply this key again and again and again for next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Till the energy is completely released, then the door forming will not happen. Otherwise, now you have opened the key and went out, and suddenly the door will again be closed. Again, you have to use this key to open the door till the extent the door energy is completely gone.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
But there are certain times where, both these persons are trusting each other like, on a very good scale. But suddenly there is a trust break or there are trust issues. So why is that happens, so suddenly?
See, the trust is based on many different things. Like I said, it's not about, though we know exactly how much we can trust that person, if we have a fear, we mask it.
Yes.
So you enforced trust.
Yes.
So the same thing can happen from both sides. Both people feel that they trust the other person and they try to do it, but both have their own fears because of which they are trusting, not because they don't know how much the other person is trustworthy.
Yeah.
Now, if because of that fear it builds and builds and builds and builds, and suddenly because of external factors, whatever happens, their fear gets manifested in that relationship.
Okay.
The fear because of which they trusted, that fear they manifest in that relationship.
Okay.
If I don't trust my husband, he will cheat on me. So I will trust.
Right.
So there is a fear there, right? So if I don't trust, what is worse that's going to happen? We have to check. If there is a fear there, we need to address it.
Okay.
And fear is not a proprietary thing that only few people can have it, the other people can't have it. Everybody is a normal person. Everybody has fears.
Yes.
Okay? So we have to check what is our trust based on. As simple as that.
Okay. So it's like, if you're manifesting those fears, then we just need to calm down, or we just need to address those fears so that it doesn't break the trust between the two people.
There is nothing to break. In reality, you know how much you can trust that other person.
Yeah.
But this enforced trust is a fantasy. It's not reality.
Okay.
Created by a fear.
Okay.
Now, what we do is remove this fear. That fantasy is gone. Reality is, you have already accepted that fear, that
Yes.
reality.
Yes.
The acceptance inside you.
Yes.
Nothing's going to change.
Okay.
Like with your friend, the moment that fantasy was gone, the fear of loneliness was gone, did you feel that something has changed?
Not really.
No change. Because in reality, you have already accepted the real relationship.
Yes.
Only your fantasy is gone, so you are not struggling anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Now I understand it. Okay. So it's that way.
Yeah.
But usually what we think is that, we trust a person on a very 100% scale, and then that person is breaking our trust, and that is why we are not able to trust other people around. So this is how we have created it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's our fear that is creating that necessity to create unrealistic trust.
Okay.
The moment the fear is addressed, you have always trusted the person only to the extent you are supposed to.
Just that fantasy factor have come in.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So if somebody is actually juggling with all of this, then they have to address the fear that is causing
Yes.
it. Okay. Got it. Thank you actually for addressing this, because I usually in my daily life, what I go through is that this trust factor, because I'm not able to trust people easily, or if at times it's like I'm trusting them blindly in one go. So these are the two factors that I usually face in life. So thank you for addressing that, and thank you for bringing out the key to this.
Right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
So thank you for this episode. So viewers, today we were in conversation with Mr. Vyas, and I hope that all your questions got clarified with this topic of trust and trust issues. So stay tuned to PMC English for more such episodes. This is Ayushi Farasi signing off.
Podcast.